think is meditation and without knowing that it's not. And the reason for that is quite strange. I'm going to tell you guys something. Thank you guys for being here. Something happens to practices when it gets over to the West, especially the United States. All of a sudden, many people think that they can change the process or they can gain the progress without even going through the process. Or they feel that it needs to be a lot quicker and better than when they received it. And so meditation is one of those things that must be done a certain way or it isn't meditation at all. It does not care about your opinion. It does not care about how you were taught or anything. Meditation is one thing and one thing only, with such a wide range of benefits. But it seems to escape and elude a lot of people as to how to do it properly. And we're going to take care of that tonight. Because it's a simple thing. We do it every day, whether we realize it or not. Every single person is a natural meditator. And I'll prove it to you before the night is over. But you're going to have to stick around. You're going to have to stick around. Because those who do not have the kind of patience or time or intuitive knowing or the desire to give themselves the time that they need, you're not for here. You're not for this channel. You're not for yourself. You're not for anything worthwhile. Because there's nothing more important than you, the self. Nothing. The most important times of your life should be dedicated to this. And we're going to find out why today. You're going to get Papa Guru's knowledge. It's not really an opinion. It's a fact. If you're not spending the most important time of your life on you, you're not doing anything truly important at all. If it ain't about you, and if it ain't about you, it's not about anything important at all. And I'm not talking about your ego. I'm not talking about how you look. I'm not talking about any of those things. We go deep here. We scratch the surface real quick, and then we get done with that, and we go deep. We dive. Dive. Picture yourself going diving deep into the recesses of your own being. Into the recesses of your own being. All right? Now we deep as dive as we can on a live, because you really can't go as deep as you can when you're in this, as deep as you do with coaching, because I'm a spiritual coach as well, or when I'm teaching a course to a concentration and concentrating on certain things. But we go deep here. And as I've just said, if you're not about the self, the true self, I'm not talking about the physical you, because that ain't you. It is your instrument to be here. I'm not talking about your emotions, because your emotions are not you. There are two. Very important. Everything I'm going to mention here, the body, you need the body. It's important. It ain't you. You need your emotions. Without your emotions, you cannot spiritually grow. Without your emotions, you cannot spiritually grow. And we talk about emotional intelligence all the time. And it's good that we start, but it was something never discussed before. Emotional intelligence is simply knowing that your emotions are so important that without them you go spiritually nowhere. That's the most important emotional intelligence statement that you will ever. Please adopt that one. Because you have many telling you, and I see it all the time on many shows, F your feelings. No, you do not want your feelings to control you, But you want to respect your feelings because without them, nothing happens. Right? You want to respect it because without them, nothing happens. But they're not you. And then there's the mind, the psychological mind, we call it. And that's the aspect of mind that is physical, the only aspect of mind that we tend to talk about on planet Earth. But it is the very, very minuscule, the least important. All aspects of mind are important, but the physical one's the least important. That part goes as well and isn't you, your mind. Thus, meditation. Thus, we're talking about meditation. Now, let's talk a bit about meditation. Let's see. Thank you guys for being here. And please slap up that like button. Got 1.2K likes. We want to get more people in here because there are many people who are going to benefit from truly knowing about meditation. Been hitting their heads against the wall about this particular subject because maybe they were mistaught or misled. Right? And so we want to change that for some people, whoever can show up here. So when you hit the like button, it gets TikTok to go, oh, there's some people over there and they're really enjoying it. Let's send more people over there because TikTok only cares about keeping people in the app. And anything that does that, they tend to send people to gravitate to. Right? So let's talk about meditation. I'm a meditation teacher, so I'm going to give you my background. I'm a meditation teacher, and I've been meditating since 2013. And I learned it. I just didn't show up and start meditating, even though I said earlier we're natural meditators, and I'm going to get into that because that's how you're going to really select. When I explain what meditation is and how you do it every day, you're going to get it like that. It's not going to be an issue for you. You're going to get it. And all the myths that have been preventing you from getting it are going to be blown away. You'll get it. Right? So meditation, I went to meditation school and was taught meditation. The proper way. The proper way. And I'm going to share that with you. And you didn't have to spend the kind of money that I spent those many years ago. And I'll give you no lie. When I tell people, hey, get a session and do all of that, that's because Papa Guru did that himself. 2013, I spent $950 to learn how to meditate. And I would have gladly, if I had to go back, gladly spend it again. That would probably be $2,500 to $3,000 in today's money. Because that's how badly the dollar has dropped. So you must be willing to invest in yourself. Because the only thing worth investing in, the most important thing, it's not the only thing, I'll change that. The most important thing worth investing in is yourself. If you're not investing in that, what the heck are you investing in? Invest in yourself. You know, we know how to do that. We know how to invest in how well we want to look. We know how to invest in how well we want to impress other people. Just shift that a little bit and invest on the inner game, the thing that shifts everything in your life and even helps to shift the planet, because your mind and the inner self is powerful enough to shift world events. Thank you for the heart. Thank all of you for being here. Thanks, JC, for being here. Good to have you. JC is one of our moderators, folks. Thank you for liking the video as well. Please continue to do so. It really helps out get people here. Right? So that's important. Let's talk about meditation right away. First of all, this is going to be like a mini class. So if you want to take notes, I would if I were you. What I paid for, you're getting for free here. And it's funny because when I was on the process of learning meditate and I was in the awakening process, nothing like this was available. Nothing. Now you can be on this app and learn things that people pay tons of money for. But don't think you're going to get everything you need from an app like this or any other. You must invest in yourself. There is an energy that goes with that. It also has an effect on your subconscious mind. Because if you're not serious about what's going on, your subconscious mind gets that message, and that's the thing that creates your reality. Oh, that person's you telling me you want to meditate, but or you tell me you want to do this, you want to get that, but here's the thing, and you just gotta invest in yourself, and you won't do it. I guess you're not that serious. This is what your subconscious mind says. And it says that because your subconscious mind is the creator of your reality, and it creates it based on your emotional and your emotions and how you feel about something and the things that you do about that thing. How you feel about something and what you do about it is what your subconscious mind, that's where it gets its cues. That's why it ignores most things that come down there. It just goes, oh, okay, that's just another thought. But the minute you start dwelling on it, you start developing a deep feeling, your subconscious mind is there and it goes, oh, the master, because your subconscious mind serves you. It is your servant, right? And it can serve you to the hilt in the most positive of ways, or it can serve you in a way that is not of good service, but it doesn't do that on purpose. It only knows you. Take this clue right here from psychology. Your subconscious mind does not know your friend, your mother, your father, your daughter, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife. Doesn't know anybody. The conscious mind, the mind you're watching me right now with, it knows all the, but the creator part of you, the creative mind doesn't know that. It doesn't know time either. The passing of time doesn't exist down there. It only knows energy in the form of emotions and things that you do. And it acts accordingly. So how you behave is important, even when no one's watching, because your subconscious mind is always taking cues and commands from you. It is your servant. It's always taking commands from you. And those commands and how deeply and important they are is based on your emotions. How you feel about something. You ever wanted something so badly that no was not a possibility? You talked about it every day. If everybody ever even mentioned coming anywhere near one to listen, they got an earful. They had to walk away from you. You ever wanted something that badly and not gotten it? You know who's doing it? And then you get and you pray for it and you think it's some God out there giving it to you? No, it's your subconscious mind that's doing it. It's your subconscious mind that's doing it. All of it. It's the creator of this reality. It's about shifting our consciousness. And when we shift our consciousness, then the mind behaves very differently. The mind behaves according to the quality of your consciousness. That's where the emotions come in. And that's where the shadow work comes in. That's where getting rid of the stuff that happened when you were a child that someone did to you. You get rid of it. You didn't do it. Why are you holding on to it? See, all of that determines the quality of your consciousness. Things other people do to you. How concerned you are about being in control of the inner game. How concerned you are about being happy, fulfilled from within, not from something you buy, not from that crystal you got down the street. This is going to do it for me. It ain't going to do nothing for you. It's only going to be showing you what's already within you and assisting you to bring that out. So you get that crystal. This is an obsidian, by the way, guys. You get that crystal and it shows you the energy that's within you. So anything you get a crystal for, crystals are wonderful because they simply remind you of what's already within you. And so you start working with that crystal, and that crystal is entraining you and showing you, hey, I'm already in there. So all this you can do it. You just put it away. I'm just a set of training wheels for you. Right? This message is for those who feel they have to have their crystal. You need to get to the point where you don't need to have your crystal. You just have it because it's something you want. You can whatever other reasons you want, but don't make it something you need. And that's true for every spiritual tool that you use. I used to use the tarot. No more. Tarot was wonderful. It taught me how to discern, divinate, and do all of that. But that was already in here. The tarot just said, hey, it's already in there. Until one day I put the tarot down and I just stepped out. I leaped out in faith. Faith not in any God or anything outside, but faith in myself. Faith in the spirit, the creator that is within me. And so you need to have that faith of the creator that is within you, because that creator is within you and is you at the same time. You see? Now we're out there. Always been here. Many of the great sages have taught this time and time again. Right? Because it's true. And now it's becoming even more bigger truth as we begin to awaken to ourselves. Now, let's get into meditation, because everything I've talked about might not sound like it has nothing to do with meditation, but let me tell you, it does. Because meditation is soothing for the subconscious mind. And it is the only time that subconscious mind takes a break, because it does not sleep. So imagine having a conveyor belt, never ever stop for maintenance, never ever stops for anything, just keeps going, going and going and going and going and going, going and going and going and going. Meditation is the break that you give it. And you must have patience, because it doesn't still the mind right away. And we're going to get into that. So meditation, what is it? You can get into all kinds of philosophical reasoning and discussions over it. But we don't need to do that. Meditation, keep hitting that like button, please. Meditation is the art of doing nothing. What is meditation? Please remember this. The art of doing nothing. And so, what is doing nothing? Doing nothing is important. Now, in certain cultures, like Western cultures, thank you so much for the hearts. Doing nothing is considered, what? That's laziness. Are you kidding? That's frowned upon. Or in some other cultures, doing nothing is a necessity. Doing nothing is a necessity. Meditation is the art of doing nothing. And I'm repeating this for a reason. You do nothing, right? So many people go, well, I drop into meditation when I'm mowing the lawn, when I'm doing house chores. You hear that a lot. And I'm here to tell you that does not compute with doing nothing. Because if you're doing something, then you're not meditating. You are, in this case, there is also a practice called contemplation. I'm sure many of you have heard this, and everyone's done it. You probably do it once a day or a couple times a week where you go into contemplation. Contemplation is great because it takes the mind and focuses on solving an issue or discussing something or coming to some settlement about something. And contemplation can be used to spiritually make progress as well. It's a very good thing. But if you're doing the dishes and you fall into a state of contemplation, please don't call that meditation. They're not the same. And so the reason why I'm making this really clear is because you might think, because you've mislabeled contemplation and conflated them, contemplation and meditation, you might think you're getting the benefits of meditation. You're not. You're getting the benefits of contemplation, which is coming up with resolutions. And also contemplation allows you to sort of communicate with spirit as well. It allows for that. It allows for a lot. Contemplation. So if you are actually in action and doing something, and I'm going to get down, this is much more on when it comes to doing things, because this is what the problem is. If you don't know, the problem is meditation Many people think that meditation is actually doing something. You don't do meditation. You just be meditation. You don't do meditation. Because remember, it's the art of doing nothing. So I'll break it down, and I'll even introduce you to an exercise that'll allow you. I did this all last night. I know some of you are new here, and so I want to make sure that it's a subject that could never get old, and there's always someone new in it that's never heard this before. So let me go to a couple of questions before I get into the next steps in meditation. Okay. Greetings, Divine Goddess. Let me start from the beginning. I was about to say it's hard for me to meditate. Hey, we're going to get into it. And you weren't here a little earlier, I don't think. But I'm going to give you an expression where it's going to knock all of the freaking mystery out of meditation. And all of the misteachings when it comes to meditation. So you stick around, Nikim. This is going to be a good one. I heard someone say relaxing is productive. Of course it is. Very productive. Shazara, very productive. How long have you been into spirituality? Alexi, I've been into spirituality from the day I was born, and so are you. We're all spiritual beings having a physical experience. The only three things make you physical: your body, your emotions, and your mind. If they go, you're all spirit. But how long have I actually acknowledged my spiritual existence as a being? From the time I was a child. From the time I was a child. And then I was fooled into thinking being religious, because I'm the son of a Pentecostal minister, is being spiritual. Then I came to my senses. And I started really getting into my spiritual practice in about 2012, when I decided I was going to really, really take it seriously. 2012. Meditation is a tool. Yes, it is. Very important tool. Hi, hey Tasha, glad to see you made it. Glad you made it. Yeah. Yeah, when I invited, yeah, there was a meditation school. And there are many people who teach meditation, but so many of it people don't teach it properly. You will get more from this live about meditation than you will get from most schools. Okay, those are the questions. So I'm going to get into it. So, can meditation be done with music? It can, yes. Right? So meditation is the art of doing nothing. So when you meditate, you are sitting down, you're sitting up, and you're comfortable. Right? You're comfortable. You don't have to be in the lotus position and all that, blah, blah, blah. You are comfortable. Not laying down. Unless you have a physical condition that prevents you from sitting up, you should not be laying down. Right? So what you are doing when you're meditating is, just remember, it's the art of doing nothing. Now we're getting down low into the very subtle natures of what doing nothing really is. Because I'm breaking down, because this is where you're going to really get more clarity what doing nothing really is. Right? It's doing nothing. If you're working doing house chores and you think you're meditating, you're not meditating, because you got activity, you got effort, you have work going on. And work and effort are the enemies of meditation. Why? Because it's the art of doing nothing. That's why. Now, when you sit there and you're in meditation, your mind might be going. You might be thinking about something that happened yesterday and why you had to do what you had to do and all of that. That's the mind. It's not you. So, when people say they have trouble staying still, or they have all of these thoughts. That's a part of meditation. That's a part of meditation. It is very important. It's actually a very important part of having meditation. Because what is happening when you drop into meditation, all kinds of energies are being scaled away from you that you no longer need. And because meditation is not a physical related thing, the art of doing nothing, and you are practicing the stilling of your mind, the mind doesn't understand that. So it colors all the energies that are meditation related with thoughts. You see why the thoughts are important and necessary? It colors it with thoughts. So you might go into meditation and the mind doesn't know what's going on, so it has to make sense of everything. The mind is always attempting to make sense of everything. And it's important for us to understand, realize, and understand that not everything that is useful will make sense, especially if you're in your spiritual awakening and you are walking spiritually. A lot of things are not going to make sense in the mind because the mind's very limited, right? So it colors and it or makes sense of things by just putting thoughts, any kind of random thought, even the thought that you drank maybe water 5 minutes before you went to meditation, that thought comes. Yeah, that's the mind. The mind is not you. You see, you might go, oh, I'm thinking all these things. No, you're not. It's your mind. You're not your mind. You are too close. You are too close with your mind. The mind is your servant. It should not be the other way around. You should not be your mind's servant. It's the other way around. And so when you make that distinction that you're not your mind, my mind, all kinds of stuff goes on in there. I paid no attention. Yeah. So my mind is not different from yours. It's thinking crazy things all the time. Let's run to a quick sample. Let's do a quick sample. 30 seconds of your mind's workings when it's on its own, doing its own thing. 30 seconds. Unless you've given it a job. If you've given it a job, it behaves different. But if it's just sitting there idle, 30 seconds. A few seconds you're thinking about cookies grandma baked. Lovely, yummy, yummy, yummy. Then you're thinking about, oh, my daughter just crossed the street and that car came close. 5 more seconds later, you're thinking about, oh man, what am I going to have for dinner? Next few seconds, oh, what did I have for breakfast? Oh, next year, I'm going to go on a trip to the Bahamas. No rhyme or reason to it at all. Do not give it that much power and your attention. Do not give it that much power in your attention. Are you listening to me? Right? You are not your mind. So when you drop into meditation and the mind is going all this, you just sit back there and watch it. Here's a technique. This is not what's going to really clear it up for you. It might already have cleared up a lot for a lot of you, but this is going to be the next step. Step number 2 of 3 that's going to really clear it up. Now, this is what you do in meditation. You want to give yourself a little scenario. By the way, this scenario is not adding any effort. It's just a scenario so that you kind of get what's going on in the picture during meditation. When you start, you sit. You're in a comfortable place. You sit. And you are you, the spirit, the eternal one, the I, that is the creator. The part of you that all religions want to imitate and take the place of, the I, the creator, the one that they mislabel God. It's you and within you at the same time. God does not exist anywhere outside of you. The creator is only within. The creator can only be because you are the creator and the creator at the same time. We all come from the great creator. We're all a piece of that. The divine mother. Many people, even in the spiritual community, misconceive that and call it a god and use the word he. No. You look at this planet, it's feminine. You look at the universe, it's feminine. That is because the creator of it is feminine. And her divine masculine counterpart, source creator, gives the masculine energy for it to exist, because everything must have masculine and feminine within it. You have masculine and feminine within you. We're just not a carbon copy, because that's not the right description. We are the mini versions of the creator of all. You must see yourself as that. And if you doubt it, then you know what you need to do. You need to get to that point. Because otherwise you'll be giving your energy away to everything outside of you. Right? So, you sit down and then you place your mind on a stage. You are the audience and your mind's the actors. And you just sit there. And if it helps to just follow your breath effortlessly, no effort. You don't have any agenda in meditation. You're not, I'm going to meditate to find out this. I'm going to meditate to do that. I'm going to meditate. No, you have no reasons. No agenda. You're only meditating for meditation's sake. If you have an agenda and a reason to try to find out something, then you need to do contemplation, which is easy. You don't need a school for that. You think about something, you sit quietly, and you just start focusing the mind on it. That's all. No school needed. No training needed. We do that all the time. If you have an agenda and a reason for doing it, for wanting to meditate, it's not meditation, it's contemplation. You're not getting the same benefits. So contemplation, as I said earlier, is fantastic, but it isn't meditation. And it's important to know the difference between the two so that you can have the benefits without thinking you're meditating. When you're contemplating, thinking you're getting the benefits of meditation. You're not. And in the next step, you'll see what I mean really clearly. But to get back to the point, you're in the audience and your mind's on stage. You see how now you've created a separation that you're not your mind. And those thoughts are going to come. Those thoughts going to go. Let them go. That's part of meditation. And there are times you close your eyes, boom, you go so deep, you didn't know what happened. You open up, you look 20 minutes later, your alarm goes off for meditation. Oh my God, I meditated. Yeah, you were meditating all those other time, 99% of the time, when thoughts were going too. They're both meditation. Both important. Right? So when the thoughts are coming and going, you're not reacting, you're not participating with your mind. Because that's effort. Thank you, Josephine. Thank all of you for being here. Thank you for liking the live and being here and participating. So your mind's on stage. It's doing its thing. And you're just sitting there. Just being. Just being. Your mind's over there doing its stuff on a stage. All kinds of thoughts going on. You're just observing and just being. Because now, what that is doing is creating a little bit of separation between you and the mind. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's all you need. Just a little bit. You just keep doing that for the entire time. And that's your practice. Now, you might go, that thing happened yesterday. And I had to do what I had to do because that was the right thing. Now your effort. See, we went from doing all the way down to effort. Even that, you're now participating with your mind because it threw a thought up there, and now you latched onto it, and you're justifying why you had to do what you had to do. Why you had to do what you had to do. That is participating with the mind. That is effort. That is not meditation. But don't fear, because think about it. If you've been used to participating with the mind all your life, it's a habit. It's a habit. And it's going to come up, right? It's okay. The minute you see yourself justifying the thought or participating with the thought, you just go, oh, it's just think when you do that, it's like you getting up out of your seat. This is what you're doing when you do that. You just got up out of your seat as the audience, and now you got on the stage with the actors. You wouldn't do that in a real play, would you? No. So that's what you're doing. Look at it that way. And so the minute you realize you catch yourself, you go back to the seat. You don't have any judgment. You don't get upset with yourself, because that is also meditation. The practice of separating yourself from your mind so that it can become your servant. The practice of that is meditation. So in the beginning, you're gonna do it a whole lot, where you're, oh yeah, that happened the other day. Yeah, she said that to me, or he did that. So that, boop. Then you catch yourself, and then you go back to. You don't get mad. You don't beat up yourself. You go back to the seat. And if that happens all the time, just keep doing it until one day you realize that you need to be a bad participant and a great observer. See, we're always used to participating with our minds all the time. Participate, blah, blah, blah. Your mind's thinking something so much so, and you think that it's you. It's not you. So you need to become a bad participant with your mind, meaning it doesn't just drag you every which way. You participate with your mind at your choosing when it's worth something. And you don't participate with it when you choose of your own choosing. Now, after a while, the amount of time that you have to catch yourself will begin to diminish. After a while, it'll begin to diminish, right? And then you'll have longer stretches where the thoughts don't have an effect on you. They'll still come. And you're just there as the observer. But you see, it's the practice. Because stilling the mind takes time. It happens when it happens. And the thing is with meditation, it must be a lifestyle thing that you do. It can't be, I want to try meditation, see if it works. Wrong. Now you have a reason. You should have no reason for meditating. You just meditate for meditation itself. Just meditate for meditation itself. That's it. Now I'll give you my testimonial meditation, and then I'll get to the third step where I show you that you are a natural meditator and how you can bring that into your practice to really hammer it down. So if you guys have been here, you've heard the first two. I'll probably repeat them again for those who are not here, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for liking the live. It encourages TikTok to bring more people who are interested in this. Okay, I'm going to see if there's any questions. I'm not going to leave you guys here. I think I'm getting there slowly. Yes, it doesn't matter, Miss Tangy. You got all your life to get there. It's a lifetime thing. And every time you sit down to meditate, no matter what you feel is going on, you get up and you congratulate yourself because it's the practice that counts. A lot of people think about, well, it's the results. We're looking for results all the time. No, it's the practice. With meditation, it's the practice. We're not looking for any results. What happens in meditation happens in meditation. Yes, and if you stop meditating for a while, you'll have to build yourself back up again. Yeah, but you don't want to stop meditating. Yeah, meditation is that, separating yourself from the mind, no matter what it looks like, well, in that process. And remember, you are not doing anything in meditation. It's the art of doing nothing. I'm going to keep repeating that. You do nothing. So even, when I said when you catch yourself going on separate, that's a subtle way of bringing effort into meditation. The mind will do anything to get you to engage with it, because that's what it wants to do. It wants to control you until you show it that what the proper order should be, which is you in control of the mind, not the other way around. We are all one. That's right. Lighting up the dark night. While we listen and learn, tap the screen. Thank you so much, JC. Thank you so much, brother. I'm sound. I can't meditate. Impossible. Not true. Stick around for my next, for the next level that I'm going to give you. There's no such thing as one that cannot meditate. Not if you're a human, and not if you're a being of high consciousness. A being of high consciousness and above. Cats meditate. I see them do it all the time. I will break that myth. That's another myth in meditation. I will break that myth in about a second. I just want to get to all these questions. Thank you, Happy Cappy. We all need this information. And then you'll be able to teach it to others who are interested and willing to listen. Great day, all. Oh, Lisa, how are you? Oh, you're Courage to Live. How are you? You changed it? Okay, fantastic. Oh, Lexi, I'm glad you got that. I was gonna do another subject, but Spirit said do meditation again. Do you set an intention when you meditate? No. I'm sure I kind of answered it already, but I'm just gonna answer you directly there. No, because that's effort. Now, if you're contemplating, here's another distinction I want to make. When you're contemplating, meaning you're using your mind to get resolution, find an answer, we do it all the time, and we focus on something. We bring the mind into it, and that's okay, because that's what contemplation is. Meditation is separating ourselves from the mind, right? So when you do a contemplation, that's when you want to set an intention. When you do a meditation, you do nothing. The art of doing nothing. $11, $11, and $12, $12. All right. It's hard for you to meditate. No worries. It's gonna get even clearer. By the way, as I'm speaking, if you have any questions on this, please do, because you're not. This is not. It is not easy to get advice on meditation. You guys know this. Okay, what I'm giving you here is special, not because I'm saying it, but because of the power of what it is that we're talking about right now. Oh, Happy Cappy, how are you? Can we talk about diet? Yeah, we can. Yes, we can talk about diet. I'll tell you what. We could definitely talk. I've done diet talks. We could talk a little bit about it tonight, but I really want to get real clear on meditation, and then we can do some diet talk. Because herbalism and shamanism is how I started with my grandmother when I was 4 years old. I was raised by my grandparents in the forests of Costa Rica from the age of 2 to 11. I never catch a cold, and if I do, or fever, it lasts 3 days. Amun Ra, how are you? Great to see you again. Should I listen to different frequencies while you're meditating? Frequencies are good. You can listen to them while you're meditating, but rotate being in silence with the frequencies. Okay? Don't become dependent on them. Yeah, you always find it. The point is to not to try to stop thinking. Magnell, I'm gonna read this out. I always find it difficult to stop thinking when meditating. That's the whole point. You shouldn't try to do anything. Don't stop the thinking because it is actually a part of meditation. And so you're not engaging with the mind in meditation. Let the mind think. Let it do what it does. It's like you have a 2-year-old. And once it run, let it run around. The mind, you and the mind are not one, are not the same. The mind is an instrument. The mind is a tool. The mind is your servant. So you want to, the thing is, when you're not engaging the mind, then you're engaging the true self. That's the choice. If you're not engaging the mind, you're engaging the true self. You want to be more engaged with the true self than the mind. If the mind knows no one but you, why do we feel emotions towards others? I'll answer that even if you're not here. LOL. Because the part of your mind, the part of mind that I'm talking about is the subconscious mind. Your mind, there's the feminine mind, which is the subconscious mind, and the masculine mind, which is your conscious mind. The mind that you ask that question with, the mind that you're watching me with. It does that. It does that. The subconscious mind, the one that creates your reality, does not do that. Does not know you at all. You see, the subtle mind or the feminine mind, the creator mind, is what I'm talking about. The masculine mind is the protector. It decides what gets down there and what does not. That's its job. Its job is to logically and intuitively, not intuitively, but intellectually help us to function in this reality. Going to school, that's the masculine mind. Logic, that's the masculine. Intellectual, that's the masculine mind. Driving your car, all of that, everything that has to do with the physical reality, that's that mind. That's the mind that also does what you just said. Doesn't know anyone. That's the mind, the masculine mind, that knows your aunt, your cousin, your uncle. Not the feminine mind. We all know about the masculine mind. I am focused on the subconscious mind or feminine mind. Feminine aspect of mind. Okay. AH meditation. All right. Let's see here. So don't chase it. Yeah, don't chase the mind. Miss Tangy, yeah. Miss Angie, yeah, don't chase the mind. Just let it do what it does. Because in meditation, you're disengaging the mind. You're not participating with it. Right? And so it's going to think, it's going to have thoughts, it's going to do all that it does. It's fine. Yes, fasting does help with deeper meditation. It is. Okay. Does meditation change the belief system in the subconscious? Meditation is the art of doing nothing. Belief systems. One thing meditation does is it increases your awareness, your ability to be aware of more. And that's irony. I said meditation is the art of doing nothing, right? I'm talking about you. The practice itself does a billion things, whatever it is that you need. It increases your awareness. And by increasing your awareness, you are able to better evaluate your belief systems and change them. So meditation doesn't change your belief systems. It gives you the ability for you to evaluate them and see them for what they are. Not how someone else told you. not how they painted the picture for you, not what the media and the church and the government and the school says, but according to your broadened awareness. You take a look, you reevaluate them, and you treat them for what they are. So that's how meditation helps with belief systems. All right, I'm going to draw a little thing here, and hopefully you can see it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. This is where it's going to clear it up for you. Even more for those of you who have stayed and have been here. Can anybody see this clearly? Please let me know. That says awake when you're awake, and that says sleep. You guys like my artwork? Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the likes. Thank you all for being here, being a part of this community. Later on, we'll also do a nice little exercise clearing to stay for that. And for some folks, it's been pretty phenomenal when you call on the divine within you. Okay, great. So we are all natural meditators. We're all natural meditators. Here's why. When you go and you're ready to go to sleep, and the head hits the pillow, and you're still awake for a certain time, you start to drift off to sleep. For a split second, it's so fast you don't know it. You drop into what is called a gap. Boom! See this big gap here? You drop into it, and then you go to sleep. And then you might dream after sleep and all of that. But you drop into this gap. Remember that. And then when you come back out of sleep and back into your awakened state, you drop into the gap again, and then you wake up. This cycle happens every time you go. You know what this gap is called? This is, my friend, the meditation gap. Every being on planet Earth goes through that gap. When they are going to the sleep realm and when they're coming back to the awakened realm. This is why you're a natural meditator, because this is the meditation gap. And indeed, many meditators will just say, I'm going to hit the gap. You do it every day. So what are we doing when we meditate? We are trying to lengthen the amount of time we spend in that gap. That's what meditation is. Why? Why would you want to spend time in that gap? Why? Because this gap is the gap of pure potentiality. All possibilities exist there. All of creation exists there. So when I say you're the creator, I'm not just saying that for words to make you feel good. You drop into the field of pure potentiality every single time you go to sleep. And again, when you wake up. That is the meditation gap. That is where all the answers to everything exists. That is where all the potential exists. That's where everything comes from. You are dropping into the nothingness, the realm of all creation, also known as the realm of nothingness, also known as the realm of darkness. Why do you think they have you fearing darkness? You drop into that. You drop into that. The realm of all potentials, the realm of all creation, the realm of full potentiality, the realm of darkness. Darkness is the polar opposite of light. Darkness is not evil. Evil and darkness, they don't even hang out in the same neighborhood. That's why you are a natural meditator. Now, this is where it's really going to become clear for all of you that have been here the whole time. This is your reward. When you're going to, remember I talked about contemplation and art of doing nothing and all this other stuff? Remember I talked about that? When you're falling asleep, notice the word fall, falling. What are you falling into? The gap. It's in the language. When you are falling asleep, what are you doing? Are you doing anything? Are you thinking? Are you, remember I said earlier, observing the mind and being the observer, being the audience and the mind's on stage? Are you even doing that? You're not even doing that. You are doing absolutely nothing when you drop into that gap. Nothing. When you're falling asleep, what are you doing? You're only falling asleep. You are doing nothing. This is why meditation is the art of doing nothing. And to fall into that gap, you want to practice that. Because when you fall into it here, what are you doing? Nothing. So when you hear people say, I'm going to go meditate to do this, that, the other, they're not meditating. Now you know why Papa Guru says you're not meditating when you're doing something? Because you are not doing anything when you fall into that gap. So you want to duplicate the same thing that's going on there when you set up your meditation practice. Because what you want to do is extend the amount of time you spend in that gap. Also known as the quantum realm. Also known as the quantum realm. You see? So, this is so big, I might repeat the whole thing again. Because for most people, this is new. This idea of the gap is very ancient. The sages have taught that. The idea of extending the time we spend in the gap, the sages have taught that. But to clarify it and to tell you that you want to duplicate what is going on here when you're falling asleep, the art of doing nothing, that's me, Papa Guru. Because I was also one of the ones, I don't tell my story a lot. But why do I dress like this? Why do I wear this turban? Is it for any ethnic reason? Nope. Any culture? Nope. Any religion, creed, or anything? Tradition? Nope. I discovered what I did previously in different incarnations. And the name Papa Guru refers to me back in many, many lifetimes. Walking the path physically and going and spreading consciousness across this planet. Just like I'm doing now. It is He who works within me. It's not this guy, this physical body doesn't know any of this. This is why connection to your ancestors is so important, because you are also your own ancestor. So to honor that being, myself in the past, I dress in this way. Do I dress this way all the time? No, I don't dress this way all the time. But that's why I wear what I wear. In honor of that ancestor. And a lot of the things that I'm teaching you is coming from there. Coming from there. He traveled on elephant, all kinds of to get all across Asia, Africa, and even the Americas. And many of you have such rich tradition within your ancestry. This is why your awareness is so important. This is why meditation is so important. Because when you discover who you are, you're going to be what? And not like from here in the head, but from it. The more you know about yourself, if you're in the right space, you become more humble. Not humble to anyone, but to yourself and your spirit. Because you know that it is those past selves we call ancestors that are responsible for who you are now. And you go, oh my God, how great are they? Then you realize that they are you and you are them. And it brings a kind of humility to you. Especially, this is why I had to be lost in this life. I was lost in this life. Lost, my friends. In spite of all that I done, my ancestors and I, in the past, greatly responsible along with many of you out there for the consciousness of the planet, because this planet was supposed to be eliminated and gone. I know many of us say it's miserable to be here and all of that. You have no idea. We weren't not even supposed to exist in this time. For me and you to be having in this room conversation was never supposed to happen. We were supposed to have been extinguished and become a resource for other beings a long time ago. But we here. And those beings have tried to destroy us so many times, but we have handed it to them. We have handed it to them. And now it's just us picking ourselves up to become the great beings that we are. Not only from the knowings of those who watch us here on earth, but knowing the great beings that we are from within ourselves. Because this awareness, this spiritual awareness, awakening, whatever you want to call it, is an inside game, my friends. Inside. And meditation is such a very important part of it. Such a very important part of it. So I'm going to go through, for those of you who are here, if you feel you missed a little piece, I'm going to do a summary, right? But let's do some questions first. And I want you guys to know that if you're looking for spiritual coaching, there are slots available. Let me know. And we can make arrangements to see if it's a good fit for you. So let's go to the questions now. Let's go to some questions. They try to keep us distracted from going within, yes. But the mere fact that you know that means that they've lost. How do you manifest your desires within the nothingness if you are doing nothing in there? Because, King Divine, you are not within your, when you are in there, you are working from the space of the I, the creator. The part of you that never dies, a part of you that exists in all things. And it is that part of you that is doing the work because you have decided to attach to them. So it is that part of you, not this side of you, the divine side of you, that is doing the work. You are doing nothing. When is the best time of day to meditate, or does it matter? That is a great question, and I'm going to start off by saying meditate. That's the best time. Meditate. Get on a schedule and meditate. Now, the best time to meditate is between 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. in the morning. The next best time to meditate is 12 p.m. and 5 p.m. 3 a.m., the best time. All the minds are asleep. Everything is slow. Everything is 3 a.m. in the morning, 12 to 5. It is ideal, Sandrine, to meditate daily. In the meditation practice that I do and teach, 20 minutes a day. If you can do 3 times a day, that is perfection. But if you do once a day, that is more than good enough. Is it best to meditate sitting or laying down? Always sitting up. Always sitting up. Always sitting up. Us and karma? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Any Orban? But I don't spend much time thinking about karma. You meditate and karma is taken care of. I don't spend much time worrying about karma because karma is kind of a big deception. All karma is, and you should divorce yourself from any other kind of rhetoric on karma, is you do something and you set yourself up biochemically for the result of that thing. You set yourself up biochemically, you line yourself up energetically for that thing. Because karma has been so warped that people now use it as a weapon. Karma is not a weapon. And here's what I mean. I want you guys to finish this sentence. Karma is a... Yeah. It's not. You do something for the results of what that thing brings you. That's it. That's all karma is. And any other kind of talk about karma is false. I made a blog a long time ago called it was so long ago. I think 7 years ago. The false light version of karma. You might still find it on YouTube. They had a robot read it. It was very popular on YouTube spiritual corners. The false light version of karma. And I wrote an article on it. I don't know where that article is now. False light version of karma. So you might still be able to catch it there. It still gets views. Wrote it about 8 years ago. Why can't you lay down? Because you're likely your body is used to when you lay down, it's time to sleep. And you want the body to be in a relaxed position, not laying down. Also, there are certain exercises that you do after. I'm not going to talk about them because we're just going to talk about the core meditation that you do that some people who practice it seriously do, that puts them in a laying down position. So if you're already there, it defeats the purpose. You must be sitting up unless you have a debilitating injury or situation that you can't sit up. Then you lay down. How long or not often is it best to meditate? Yeah, I answered that. I don't think I said 20 minutes. 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes each. Not 20 minutes a day, but if you do multiply 20 minutes each session. Right? 20 minutes. If you do it properly, I haven't talked about that. You do your asanas, which are yoga positions. You know, when you do yoga, you're basically doing like 5 or 6 exercises, but you're doing them lengthwise for long periods of time. You're holding those positions for long periods of time. You do 5 minutes of yoga asanas. You get into those positions, but you don't stay there long. 5 minutes of that. And 5 minutes of breathing, then meditation, is the ideal way to do it. Breath work, yoga asanas, which is putting yourself, yoga asanas are positions, just Indian for positions, and then meditation. That is how a bona fide meditator who does it the proper way does it. 5 minutes of yoga asanas, 5 minutes of breath work, 20 minutes of meditation. And I want everyone to know this. This is super important. You want to spend 5 minutes getting out of meditation. No matter how it seems, 5 minutes getting out of it. You just don't get up when you're finished. 5 minutes to get out, because you might feel some roughness during your day if you don't allow the mind the time to get out of it. Even if you don't feel that you've done a meditation, 5 minutes afterwards. I can't stand I can't stand meditation in lotus position. I have problems with my back. Affect the meditation. You know what? I'm glad you said that, Annie, because the rule for meditation is for you to be comfortable, not to be in any silly lotus position. Comfortable. That's the key. That's another thing. You always see people in lotus position when they're meditating. I don't meditate in the lotus position. I get comfortable sitting up. Okay, so I'm glad you asked that question. Oh, do I know how many lives I've lived to this moment? No. I'm pretty old. Very old. But I've been with this planet from the beginning. I've never left her. So when people ask me, "You're a star seed, Papa Guru," I said, "No, I'm from Earth." When I drop the body, I think this is the last one I'm gonna drop. I go to Middle Earth. I go to a place called Agartha. That's where I go, and I come right back. I don't leave the Earth. I don't leave the planet. Like my physical incarnations are always here. That's what I mean by I don't leave the planet. But I've realized that I'm everywhere and nowhere at the same time. So when people go, "Oh, I'm going to die and I'm going to go somewhere," I go, "Well, where am I going to go? I'm everywhere." But it's not like there's nowhere to go, you see. So I don't restrict my, "Oh, you're going to the fifth dimension." I go, "No, I don't restrict myself to any dimensions. I'm going everywhere and nowhere all at the same time." Can it happen to see our loved ones who are gone during a meditation? That's possible. See, we don't put any kind of expectations in meditation, which leaves it to the field of all possibilities, does it not? So yes, it is possible. Yes, it is. Your soul and your spirit in a different place? Is that a question you're asking? Are you here? Return of the Prince? I'll answer that if you're here. That's a good way that your physical body may not be doing much. Yeah, that's exactly. We want to keep that thing doing anything. But your soul and your spirit, well, they do what they do. So you know about places beyond the gates, beyond death. There's no place beyond death because death doesn't exist. Life. There is no death. There is only life. And scientifically, they've looked into the universe. There isn't one dead thing in the universe. Everything's alive. Everything. Science now knows there's nothing dead in the universe. It's all alive. Because everything is energy, and energy can only be transformed. And you might go, well, when you die, your body rottens and all that. No, it just changes to another form of energy. This is light. Look at yourself and go, I am light. There are many children even now coming on the planet. They're 9, 10. They're telling us this stuff. Very advanced beings. They're telling us this stuff. They're telling us stuff that the scientists have said, or just learned about. They've just come on this planet. They're telling us everything. Hey, Miss Nikki, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Telling us so much. You're light. I just put out something on that. Wonderful young lady put out a video. And so succinctly, you are light. Let me explain. Because I know everybody's heard that, but people say it, but when you ask for an explanation, you hear the sound of the crickets. So let's end the sound of the crickets, and let me explain to you why you are light, because this is important for you to know, because this kind of information will start to shift the way you see yourself. When you look down to the cellular level, we're all made of cells, everything, right? This, well, let's stick to us, right? We're made of cells. So in order to find out the program of what builds this machine, you go down to the cellular level and you find protons, neutrons, electrons. Right? What makes up proton, neutrons, electrons? When they go down to that level, they find out that quarks and leptons, I believe, are made. Electrons make leptons, quarks make neutrons and protons. When they go down below that to see what those things are made of, you know what they find? Nothing but light. There's nothing solid about a quark or a lepton. It's all light. When they break the cell of a human being down, it's all light. So what happens? We are light beings. We're told that. We are light beings. When we drop down to this density, when light drops down, the light that we are, drops down to it solidifies and becomes this. But deep down in our DNA, the signature of who we are is still there. We are light, my friends. So this is something you can research if you want. Sometimes I hear specific sounds. In what? Could you say you hear specific sounds where? Any Orban? If you could just tell me that. Thank you, Angie. So we go from one living thing to another. Yes, that is more accurate. There is no such thing as death. Well, there is such a thing as death, but not like what you think. I'll give you my story. I'll give you my experience. It's not an experience of what true death looks like. Is Tai Chi anyway like meditation? Tai Chi is very relaxing. Tai Chi is a fantastic exercise. It is great. Like Tai Chi is great for me because of I'm an A blood type, and so with the A blood type, it's going back to food and all that, your blood type dictates also your what lifestyle is best for you. Tai Chi is relaxing, so everything about us blood type A should be geared towards relaxing, getting rid of stress, getting rid of stress. No strenuous exercise, marathons, all that kind of stuff. Tai Chi, yoga, mild resistance exercise. Exercise, and when we start breaking a sweat, we've done enough. So no, Tai Chi is not meditation. There's nothing like meditation, Francis. Nothing like meditation. Meditation is meditation, and there's nothing like it. Oh, you're A minus, Sandrine? Yeah. So I'm A positive. The minus doesn't matter when it comes to what I'm talking about. It's the just the A when it comes to what we should what kind of lifestyle we should have, food we should eat. Limited amount of red meat, small amounts of maybe chicken and certain fish. Most dairy no good. Grains, vegetables. Do you know how anything about the other types, like those details that you just listed for yours? Um, they say O is the oldest blood type. Yes, on Earth, yes it is. I know a little about the other ones, but Justin, if you just in mind, just if you go to the internet and you put down blood type O diet, it'll give you that. Blood type AB diet, it'll give you all the great things that are good for you, for your blood type. In your ear, in the aura. Are you talking about meditation? And that's what I want to know because I'm not sure if if it's just something. Oh, in your ear. Oh, okay. I got it. Don't worry. I got what you're saying. In your ear. Sometimes I hear a specific sound when I must see people, bad people, because I know them. How do you know they're bad? And if you can hear them, I'm not saying they're not. They could be, but if you can hear them in your ear, some people can hear frequencies of communication from people speaking just like telephones, but you don't have a phone. Some people can hear that. If you're hearing it and it has a feeling of not being good at all, that's something any orbit I would get a session on. I would really get a session on. That's because it's so specific that it needs to be looked into. You can book a session with us if you'd like here by going to the bio. But that's specific. And it could be ancestral, or it could be just something going on, an energy that needs to be gently removed. Because if it's doing that, it's also blocking a lot of other things. That's my advice to you on that. Clairsentient. Who any clairsentient means clear feeling. If she's hearing thing, that's clear audience. Clear audience, okay? Conversation going on in my head. It's like I'm observing them talking. And how do you feel about that, Angie? Yeah, she is definitely picking up on energy. Oh, they hurt. Okay, so that's not good. Anyway, so if they hurt, that is definitely not a good thing. And the first thing I got for you was to get some assistance from someone you trust. Okay, and we could definitely help with that here if you feel guided. Okay. Oh, Karen May, you follow the food list? Fantastic. Karen, she follows the food list. You can just Google it and download that food list. O and B, you guys, great. You guys need rigorous exercise. And you can get the book for Just in Mind. You ask like those, you can go get the book. That's the best thing. That's my recommendation. All right. I am going to. We're doing. You guys have lots of questions. It's fantastic. Yeah, you're clairaudient. You're hearing thing, and if it hurts any, and it's not anything. The mental health, they'll probably try to call you crazy. You're not crazy. They don't know how to deal with that because the thing is with our mental health institutions. And by the way, stick around. I'm gonna do a clearing, and you can put that in the clearing, Annie. See if it helps. See if it helps. I'm gonna do a clearing meditation. You guys stick around for that. We're gonna do a clearing meditation probably in the next 15 minutes. It's something we do here and every live, and it's really, really, really helpful. Where we pull the power that is within us, within you. You know, I can't keep talking about everything's within, and I give a little taste. We do it together, group it, a little taste of what that's like in every live that I do on Thursdays and Fridays, 8:30 p.m. And so we're going to do that tonight as well. So stick around for that. Sometimes it needs that one-on-one, but it might get resolved tonight. No promises. Okay. I'm going to do a quick round summary of meditation while still looking at questions that are coming. Oh, okay, there's a few. I only hear stuff when I'm laying down quietly. Do you ever ask when you hear stuff? Do you ever ask because it's your ears, it's your being? You should question what's going on for both of you. Is there a specific position for hands during a meditation? No, just relaxed. Just relaxed. Because then you're introducing effort into keeping your hands in that position. I know they do this. If it makes you comfortable, do it. But just relax. I have my hands like this, just sitting. Can you give a little short answer to my question, please? I don't know what your question is. There's tons of them. So if you could please put it up. I'm only one person here, and you've got a lot of people asking questions. So if you put it up again, I'll look out for it. It's JC, are you there? If JC is there, put Kemi Folk's question, highlight it when she asks it again. Thank you. Thank you so much. So if you, I'm not going to go all the way up the screen to try to find your question. So just put it in again, and we can do that. What about astral projection? Don't be lazy. Write the whole question out. What about it? Okay. I'm going to just do a quick summary on meditation because this is extremely important. First of all, meditation is the art of doing nothing, right? Maybe the you know, so there's no effort involved. I astral project more when meditation on a daily basis. It's a little scary. So if something happens in a meditation, so what happens when you astral project? You just let it happen. Because you know you're doing it. You know it's happening. Let it happen and see where it takes you. You see, so you just want to, because nothing's going to happen to damage you because you're aware. See, the important thing is that you're aware, happy Cappy. So let it happen, okay? So it's the art of doing nothing. You don't have an agenda. You don't have an intention. You do meditation for meditation's sake. Right? You do meditation for meditation's sake. Right? And so what you want to do is you want to put yourself in the seat as the observer, like you're in an audience, and you put your mind on stage. You put your mind on stage. Quantum realm? Okay. You want to know what the quantum realm is. So it's much better if you just have a complete question. Because if you say quantum realm, I don't know what you mean by that. Okay. You want to know what the quantum realm is? Okay. Whenever I've spoken out loud to myself, it feels like I'm heard. I respond as in conversation. Okay. So the quantum realm is the realm where everything is created. This is a good question because I've even asked people who say they do quantum energy work and they don't know what the quantum realm is. On the base level, you have the quantum realm where everything's the same. Everything is just a creative force. There's no differentiation. Nothing but potential exists there. So when you watch Marvel movies and they show you this, no, that's an existence. It cannot be the quantum realm. So everything's the same. Everything's just energy there. And from that, you can create anything that you like. When I say you, I just don't mean anything. You, anyone. You need to know how to work with the quantum realm. Right? And so it is where everything is created, and so every solution is there, and every problem that's created is also created from there. Problem's a label. Right? So at that level, everything's the same. Okay, follow me? Then when you get to the next level, that's the chemical level. That's where this pen, this obsidian quartz is this quartz, I'm me, and you're you, and all of that. This is where we make differentiation. So the quantum realm is a realm of pure potentiality where everything is possible and can be made, and we are a part of that, and the realm, quantum realm, can only be found within us. And that's where everything's created, every possibility. Whenever I've spoken out loud to myself, it feels like I'm heard. I respond as in a conversation. You get a response. Yeah, that's probably because you are being heard. And if you're getting a response, it is coming from you. See, it's different with everybody. So you might have an ancestor may answer. Because there's more to you than just what you see in the mirror. You have ancestors, you have your higher mind, your higher self. They represent your spiritual side, the spiritual side that is you. So that's not strange to me. That doesn't happen to everyone though. So you should start really making it a habit of speaking to yourself. One of the most powerful things you can do is self-talk. Talk to yourself. And believe what you hear. Because if it is a negative energy, you're going to feel that energy. And you're like, what's in there? Then you know that something is within you that you need to deep six. Until you get the words of your ancestors, because they speak to you in a kind, gentle, loving voice. If it's anything else, it ain't them. Or it's a version of them that needs to be transmuted. Means you need to go to work and take care of it, because you are the living and that's the power that you have. Okay? You're welcome, Kimmy folks. Not strange, you get that, you do that, yeah. So some of you can hear your ancestors speak, and you can tell, like I just gave you the difference, because sometimes you might hear something and it ain't your friend, but it's inside of you. You're on earth, all kinds of shit happens here. You have the power to make corrections, and you have the power and the right to be connected to those who you are a part of, or who are aspects of you. So grateful I came across you, as you have answered many questions from you. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. All right. So you want to put yourself in the audience, talking about how you kind of separate yourself from your mind, because you're not your mind. This is what this little exercise does. And you put your mind on stage and you just let it do what it does. And this because you're not your mind. And if you find yourself engaging with your mind while it's on stage, you simply catch yourself and go back to the seat. Because we need to become bad participants with our minds. Really bad participants. Meaning we select when we engage the mind and when we don't engage the mind. And we let the mind do what it does. You're not your mind. You don't believe everything you think. And in meditation, you do nothing. The meditation is the practice. The practice, I want to say that. The practice of doing nothing. You're just sitting there. You are doing nothing. The practice of doing nothing. And then I went on to speak. What was the second thing I spoke about? Now, as you are doing that, that's actually the practice of meditation. And I made a distinction between meditation. Some people say, oh, I do my chores and I'm meditating. I do this and I'm meditating. I do my, mow the lawn. No, you're not meditating. You're contemplating, because you're involving the mind. Meditation is the art of doing nothing. Right? The art of doing nothing. And I gave a little demonstration of the gap that everyone's a natural meditator, because When you go to sleep, just a quick summary. This is awake, this is sleep. You automatically hit this gap for a split second. You don't even know you're doing it. And then when you come back from sleep to the awakened state, you hit the gap again. That's the meditative gap. And when we do a practice, we want to spend as much time extending the amount of, we want to spend time extending the amount of time we spend in the gap. The amount of time we spend in the gap. Why do we want to do that? Because that is the realm of all creation. Is it better to meditate in silence with a specific music? It is. Well, some people, if you have like calming music, you can meditate to that. Yes. Right? You can meditate to calming music because the music isn't, no words, of course. No words, of course. Because the music isn't causing you to create effort. It's helping you to relax into your meditation. But you should mix silence, nothing but silence with the music. So maybe one week you do music, or another week you do silence, or one meditation silence, however you do it. You always want to go back to doing meditation its original way. And anything that assists you, yes, of course you want to, if something's going to help you get there, help you to relax, help you to get into that state, use it. Use it, of course. And so you want to spend time in that gap. And that's what meditation does. Why? Why do you want to spend it there, though? Because it is the realm of all creation. It's the realm of full potentiality. I just explained it to someone earlier. It's the quantum realm. It's where all creation happens. And when you go down there, you signal to the I, the you that is eternal, that you're ready to become the creator within the created. Now, I'll tell you a little story. You ever have an issue and a problem and you go, ugh. If once I say this and once I explain this, if you have, just put yes. Because I know many of you have. And you can't figure it out and you go, I'll go sleep on it. I'll go sleep on it. How many of you heard that? I'll go sleep on it. And then you go to sleep and the next day you have the answer. It's because you picked it up when you went down into the gap and you came back out with the answer. It isn't the sleep side that you got it from. It's here. Why do you get it in those situations? Because it's so heavy on your mind. It's something that you have to know. And remember I said earlier that the subconscious mind is your servant and only knows you and only what you desire, and it bases it on the strength of the feeling that you have. It drops down there and gets the answer for you. Because it's so emotionally charged, that thing that you're thinking about. It's so heavy that the mind goes, we have to take care of this. Because that part of your mind, your subconscious mind, serves you and only knows you. So you go to sleep when you can relax, when it isn't being disturbed, your subconscious mind that is, and it gets it for you and brings it out. Now, someone asked earlier, if the meditation is the art of doing nothing, how do you create and how do you get answers? Let me ask you this. When you're in that state, when you're going to sleep, are you doing anything? No, you wake up and the answer is there. You see? So, meditation is the art of doing nothing. If you're sweeping and you're going to drop into what you think is a meditation, it's not. It's contemplation. Because if meditation is extension of this gap, which is called the meditation gap, which is also known in meditation circles as just the gap, what are you actually doing when you're falling? Remember the word falling? What are you falling into? How do you fall asleep? Why don't they just say go to sleep? They say fall because in the language, a lot of times our language tells us things. It's code. You're falling. What are you falling into? You're falling into this. Then you get to sleep. Now, let me ask you a question. When you're falling asleep, by the way, you fall into this gap so quickly that you don't realize it. And besides, you're in a state of less awareness of this reality. When you're falling into this gap, what are you doing? Are you sweeping the floor? No, your head's on the pillow and you're going to sleep. Are you mowing the lawn? Nope, you're not. You're going to sleep. Are you doing house chores? No, you're not. You're going to sleep. So we want to imitate everything that encourages this gap, us to get into the gap without having to go to sleep. How do you do that? Just with your intention. I'm going to go meditate right now. Poof. And it happens. And you set it up and you do this, because that's why stillness and meditation go hand in hand. Because you know what you're doing when you're going and falling asleep? You are completely still, my friend. And you want to imitate that when you're here. You're not doing this, that, or the other when you're meditating. If you're doing anything while you're meditating, you're not meditating. You are contemplating. Contemplation involves the mind. It involves the conscious mind. Okay, I want to make a difference. Meditation involves the conscious mind. You're thinking about something, you're coming up to a resolution, coming up with an answer, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So that's the summary of meditation, and I'm good for tonight on meditation, unless you guys have questions. Let's see if there's anything else here. Blah, 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 blah. You're still, exactly. And that's why to meditate, you have to be still.